Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, we'll see if we can get through this video without getting poured on, because there is a thunderstorm headed right towards us, and this will be the first bit of rain that we've had in at least 2+ weeks. It's quite dry around here. I mean, I know it's nice and green, but that's only because we're so close to getting out of spring. But man, it's dusty, and it's been hot. And this rain will come in and kind of get us some moisture into the ground and cool us off a little bit. So I think I can hear it actually. I think I can actually hear it raining that direction. So we'll see. It's been a crazy few days. Took a few days off from making videos, and unless you have been under a rock, it's been nuts. The old gauge needle off towards World War III has gotten pretty close to being full-on red just in the last few days. Russia was attacked in Crimea, and this has been something that Russia has warned about. You better not attack us. You better not use American weapons. NATO better not do this kind of stuff. And well, it's happened. A beach in Crimea filled with beachgoers. You can see the videos out there. That was attacked by some ATACMS missile systems that had cluster bombs on them, according to what is being reported. Now, there's a whole lot going on here. Number one, these were civilians, and a few of them died, even a couple of children, which is, of course, tragic, regardless of which side that's happening. But these ATACMS missile systems, they're commanded, and they have to, the coordinates, the strike codes and things like that have to be inputted by U.S. soldiers. At least that's what's being told. Also, there's reports that a U.S. drone was in the air near that, kind of coordinating the target site. That's the word I was looking for. This is a big deal. Russia is fully blaming the United States. Of course, the United States is saying, oh, we don't know what happened. We had nothing to do with that. Ukraine does their own thing with the missile systems that we give them. So this is I think, a huge escalation. Russia has flat out said that the United States, not Ukraine, not NATO, but the United States will, in fact, pay for this. And so it's just that much closer, folks. Israel and Lebanon are about ready to go to war with each other. Israel is pulling or talking about the process of pulling their troops, or at least a bulk of their troops, out of Gaza, saying that they have pretty much won the war there. And they're shifting gears and focusing on Lebanon. They said that they've already approved the battle plan to go into Lebanon, and there's been a massing of their troops and equipment along the northern Israel border. The United States has moved not a battleship. I'm old, I guess. A carrier group, a naval carrier group into that area, and it's looking like Israel and is going to invade Lebanon. The United States has warned Israel not to do this, that this will, cause a widespread war in the Middle East. This won't be anything like what happened in Gaza. And remember that Gaza and Hamas, I mean, they were small, and they didn't have a real standing military. They didn't have a lot of really any modern weapons or anything. Hezbollah is very different. Hezbollah is much larger. They have, I mean, I'm not comparing them in comparison to Israel, but they do have modern weaponry. They have, much better capabilities, much better skills. So they will be much more of a challenge for Israel, especially because of the fact that several other countries, including the Taliban, which is not a country, but the Taliban, Iran, and others have said, if this gets going, we're going to get involved. So we will see how that transpires. There's just been a lot of stuff going, and I told you, I think it was probably Friday, I said over the weekend we could actually see war start in the Middle East and another war start in the Middle East. Things are just, they're getting close. And I know I've been repeating that quite a bit here lately. about how close things are getting, about how it's just on the edge. And it's still just on the edge, folks, and it's getting a little bit closer, a little bit sharper on that edge. And what do we have to do about it? We have to get prepared. I mean, if you look at the whole election thing, there's a lot of stuff coming out just in the last few days. There's information, and who knows how much of it's true, stating that federal agencies or federal departments are sending out voter registration cards, there are voter registration forms, that there's been a lot of reports of illegals filing and getting voter registration cards in various states, because in some places it's quite easy, and if you just say that you're a citizen, they'll give you one. There's a lot of that stuff going on. And then Julian Assange was released. He was released, went to court, and the judge says, well, you've time served, so you're a free man. So there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, if you sit back, and I've been busy, so I haven't had time to even do my normal monitoring what's going on around the world. But even with what I've done, it's just the last few days, it's just like a whirlwind. I know I'm standing here speaking, I think, I know that there were other things, I just can't remember what they were, because there's so many. There's so much stuff going on. That's usually a pretty good indicator that something big's going to happen. When there's a lot of chatter, when there's a lot of flack being thrown out, that usually means that something is about to happen. And we have to realize that the overall thing, that something is that the United States is collapsing. The United States currency is collapsing. It's slow, maybe. I'm not saying it's collapsing next week or next month or even next year. It could be 5 years down the road, maybe even 10 years down the road. I don't think it'll be that far, but it could be a while. And everything that we're seeing are just symptoms of that. It's like if someone has cancer, maybe they don't know they have cancer, but then they start having all these symptoms, nausea, they can't eat, they're losing weight, all these different things that are happening. That's what's going on. All this stuff that we're seeing happen, these are all symptoms of a greater problem, and a problem that can't be fixed. The amount of debt that we're in, the amount of more debt that we're going into constantly, $1 trillion a quarter now, the weakening of our military, the weakening of us on a global stance, all of these things are symptoms of our nation falling apart. It doesn't mean that we will fall into the abyss and be nothing. It just means that things are falling. And it could be like the Roman Empire. How many times did they kind of go through a collapse and then come back as something a little bit different? That's probably what's going to happen. And that is what's going to happen. And how that will look, I don't know. But we have to prepare for this, because this is happening in our lifetime, real time. We're living it. And I'm here to break some really bad news to you. It doesn't matter who gets elected as president. The only difference is which one is going to lead us through this collapse. Is it going to be Joe Biden, or is it going to be Donald Trump? With Donald Trump, it might be a little bit better. It might be a little bit easier. But we're still going to go through a collapse. We're still going through all this. We're still watching America fail. And that's got to be what we have to be. We have to be planning for that. We have to be having that conversation and accepting that, normalizing that in our mind, so that we can stay focused on what the task is at hand. And that is for you and I to prepare for the onslaught of craziness, the difficulty, the chaos that's going to ensue. And it could be very extreme and it could be mild, but either way it's going to happen. And we have to be prepared for that. This World War III stuff, potential for nuclear war. I personally have never been one of those, nuclear war is going to happen kind of guys. To me, it's always been on the slight chance. I'm starting to think that chance for nuclear war is increasing. I'm not saying it's a huge, huge chance, but I think it is definitely increasing more than we've ever seen before. The more and more we push against Russia, the greater chance that a nuke will be used. Maybe not immediately against the United States, but that a nuke will be used. And the first time that nuke is used, it's going to drastically change how things are done. So we have to get ready for all of this stuff, because like I said, it's happening in real time right now. This isn't something that may be happening at some point in the distant future. These events are happening right now, and we have to get ready for them, folks. You need to be stocking up. You need to be developing your skills, developing relationships with the people around you so that you can work with each other on stuff, building stronger family bonds, because that's what you're going to need, and then building a stronger relationship with you and the Almighty in heaven. This is the time, folks. This is not the time to play around. So we need to get our houses in order, and we need to prepare ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. And I guess I better address the elephant in the room. Yes, I did. I didn't shave it all. I went down quite a bit, not to the skin. I chose to do it. My wife absolutely does not like it, and it's coming back, right? So I had to do it. I went through a pretty big qualification course and certification a couple of days ago, and had to get fit tested for masks. It's not required for our department. It's not even technically required in our state, but this particular course, I did have to take it down, not to the skin, but I had to take it down pretty low to do that. And the beard will come back. It's crazy, I know, it's shocking, but maybe some of you that think it's fake will realize that it's a real beard, and it will come back. And, you know, I've already had people wondering are you going to lose followers because you're known by your beard? If people are that crazy, then whatever. But, you know, it's life, right? I'm going to get off of here because it's not going to come on probably good. But right through there, it is way darker than it's coming through on that screen. I mean, it's getting really dark. Wind's picking up. I think it's just about ready to storm. Folks, take it serious and get prepared, because the world's changing at a pretty rapid pace. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.